And good afternoon, this is Neil here with the Off the Lip Radio Show. This is episode number, I'm going to take a flyby guess, number 19 here with Mr. Moshari. Mr. Iman Moshari, who has a fascinating story and is doing something that's absolutely incredible. So I saw it online, and I go, man, I got to go talk to this kid. And still student at Aptos High, right?
Yes, senior at Aptos High
Senior?
School. Yes.
That's cool. How's school going?
School's gone great.
Is it?
Yeah.
You like it?
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what it takes to get through.
Yes. I mean, I'm towards the end now.
Yeah.
I'm applying to colleges.
Where do you want to go?
Oh, I want to go to Stanford.
Oh, you do?
Yeah. Aim for the stars, land in the
Why
clouds.
not, right?
Like, why not?
Do you have the chutzpah? Do you have the grades and stuff to go?
I think I have the grades, but more importantly, I think I have the drive.
Yeah.
I think I have the drive, and I think that's the most important part about, not just getting into these schools, but performing.
Yeah.
And I think I have that. I
Yeah.
think I'm a qualified candidate for it.
Well, I wish you the very best.
Yeah.
Santa Cruz wishes you the very best.
Yes.
Because he's also doing something that's absolutely fabulous for the community, and I hope you can tell the camera and tell the audience exactly what you're doing. Because I saw it and I go, I got to go talk to this kid like today.
Yeah.
And I want to thank you for getting a hold of me and
and
making it happen.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
I want to spread the message about what we're doing, and I appreciate what you're doing, spreading all these like little stories in Santa Cruz and just
they'll come out of the woodwork.
it. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So I run a program called an organization called Bikes for All. I'm really proud of the name because I came up with that, so I tell everyone, like, that's my name.
Did you have like 15 to 20 names and that was the best one, or it just came right to your head?
No, this came right to my head.
Yeah, that's like off the lip to me, like off the, what you call the radio show again? Off the lip.
Exactly. It came off my lip.
Yeah, it came off my lip, yeah.
Yeah, so I was biking actually, and I came up with the idea itself, Bikes for All.
Yeah.
And it was just great.
And the program does what?
You guys interested in a glass of wine at all?
No, man. We're just doing a little radio show. So,
That's all good.
But he's a little young for a wine. I'm drinking coffee, and we'll be gone in like 5 minutes.
What radio show is it?
Off the radio show on it used to be KSCO. Now it's just a podcast.
Oh yeah, it's a podcast.
Yeah.
Podcast, yeah.
So KSCO, they still around?
I don't know, but can we finish the thing? We come and tell. See, it's going right now.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's okay. You didn't know.
All right. So yeah.
So again, she's on the podcast. Whoever that was.
Bikes for All is an organization that serves the community. It's for the community, by the community. Our goal is to give everyone a bike, regardless of race, ethnicity, financial status, need. We want everyone to have a bike.
Because in Santa Cruz, all you hear about is people getting the bike stolen.
Yeah.
So it's just a common
Bike chop shops, everything.
Right.
And I find that bikes are one of the most quintessential things that anyone can have in their life. And when I was at Aptos High, I'm still am at Aptos High, but when I was like sophomore year, junior year, I would hear these stories about students who didn't have bikes, and they'd come up to me and they're like, "Hey, what's it like?" And I'm like, "How do you?
What's it like to have a bike?"
Yeah, what's it like to have a bike? And I'm like, what? You don't have a bike, You don't know how to ride a bike?
Right.
That was like so crazy to me. And then I thought about all these students in these difficult positions, like how, they have to take the bus to school, or, they have to stay hours after school because they can't get home.
Right.
Home's a little too far.
Right.
The buses don't go there.
Yeah.
But a bike would be perfect for that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, gosh, that's horrible. Even though I heard all that, I still didn't do anything. Because I was like, what was I going to do? Buy bikes for every single student? I don't got that kind of money. A friend actually who worked at the national parks with the Friends of the National Parks, the organization, told me that every month, actually not every month, every couple of months, the national parks would get about 30 or 40 bikes accumulated just from like tourists, people who just leave their bikes there, whatever it is.
That's very odd.
An incredible Yeah, I thought it was very odd as well.
Yeah.
And I was like, so what do they do with the bikes? And he said, this is why I'm telling you this. After no one collects those bikes, after 3 months, they load up all the bikes onto a truck, a big trailer, and they take them all to the dump. just throw them away. And I was like, are you
What?
kidding me right now?
Right.
There are so many people who
Right.
need a bike, whether it's because they don't have a car and they need to get to work, they can't afford a car.
You would think just put them outside their office and put a free sign on the side.
Exactly.
Something,
And
anything.
And it's like, what about the kids who want a bike but their families can't afford it? They just want a way to express themselves, and biking allows that.
Keep going.
Yes.
I'm just checking the camera.
Yeah.
Yeah, all working good.
Great. And so, I was like, gosh, that's horrible.
Yeah.
I want to do something about this, and I still didn't do anything. That summer, which
Because you were too busy with your own stuff, or
no, the idea hadn't struck me yet.
Yeah.
I really didn't feel compelled just yet to do it.
Yep.
And then that summer, I went to Iran, where I'm from.
Yeah.
I don't go there very often, but all my family is there. My mother and I visited, and I saw this like other perspective of life.
Of course.
What the children over there go through, and what a bike would mean to them.
Yeah.
And I was like, why can't? I mean, every human needs something.
Yeah.
And I was like, I want to bring the values that I learned in Iran, and I want to apply them here.
Yeah.
Because I know right now I can't make an impact over there, but I know I can make an impact here.
Yeah. Because you live here,
Yeah.
and you're the person who's going to start it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And I was like, okay, I want to do something.
Yeah.
And I mean, it started very small. At first I was like, how the hell am I going to get bikes, repair them,
Right.
and then give them out
Right.
to people?
Do you drive?
I do drive.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And I was like, and at the time though, I didn't drive.
Yeah. So you're like, how the hell am I going to do this?
How am I going to do this?
Right.
Like what? So, it was summer still at the time, and I'm
Last year, or
this was a year ago.
Okay.
The summer of 2022. Towards the end of the summer, around August, I was like, man, I really don't know how I'm going to do this, even if I wanted to do it. And, I like to start these kinds of projects. I have experience under my belt with organizations. Over COVID, I volunteered at an organization called Victory Veggies SoCal. It was an organization that got produce from the community and gave it to the larger organizations like the Harvest Food Bank.
second half food? Yeah.
Yeah, and whatnot. And we were just another way for people to get food.
Yeah.
We could go pick it up and whatever.
Right.
And shortly after volunteering, the executive director of the nonprofit had to move out. They moved somewhere else. Whether it was COVID, I had no idea.
Yeah.
And they elected me as the president of the organization. And I ended up growing about 1,500 pounds of produce.
You were growing it?
No. So we would get.
Oh, you would get it. Okay.
We.
And they made you the president.
Yes, they
Yeah,
made
yeah.
me the president. I got some experience under my belt,
Yeah.
having volunteers, organizing things.
Yeah.
But eventually, because we were a COVID-19 relief nonprofit, COVID died down a little
Yeah.
bit, thankfully, and there wasn't really a need for that anymore.
Yeah.
Oh, I just smacked my head on that.
You'll get stung. Move this way. Move this way a little bit.
I'm like, trying to keep my head still. So then I thought, why don't I apply these values that I learned with Victory Veggies
Yeah.
and create something new, and then it started. I think the best part about the organization is
Bikes for All.
Bikes for All.
Okay. Began what day?
It began, I'd probably say August 30th.
Okay.
And I have a really cool story.
2022. Okay.
2022. So, I had the organization planned out, and I'll tell you what the plan was and how it's structured. It's very structured very similar to how it was back then.
Yeah.
Just because it's like so foolproof now.
Yeah.
But I still didn't really know if it was going to work, if it was possible. I didn't have any volunteers yet. I didn't have anyone helping me yet.
You're a one-man show.
I was a one-man show trying to make a difference in a massive county,
Right.
at least massive to me. And I was walking at night. I was like, I'm just going to take a walk at night. It's summer. I got nothing better to do right now before
Right.
school starts. And I come across this house off of SoCal,
Okay.
right by Play It Against Sports.
Okay.
And outside of their house had this sign that said free. And it was a mattress, which I was like, hell no, I'm not about to get some used mattress.
Right.
And it was I think it was a desk. And then right beside it was a bike. It was I still have the bike to this day. Haven't
Okay.
found someone to give it to, but it's a very small bike. It's
That's gonna
called.
be your logo, I think. That bike should be your logo.
Yeah, it's a very small bike.
Right.
It's pink. It's got like unicorns on it.
Yes.
It's very obvious it was made for like a 4-year-old girl.
Right.
You know, it wouldn't support my weight, so I was
Right.
not about to test it. The tires were flat, but I was like, this is a sign. This is a sign. If I can find this bike here, I know I can find more bikes anywhere. So I pick up the bike and I drag it 2 miles back to my house. Walking, like I said,
Yeah.
I didn't have my license yet, so
Yeah.
I was walking places, I was biking places.
Yeah.
And I come home and I'm like, all right, let's get started. And
Was your mom involved? Hey, Mom, I got this idea.
you know, she was like, I don't know how that's gonna work.
Right.
She didn't want to help because she didn't want to drive me around places and pick up bikes and mess up her car.
right.
Very understandable.
Right, yeah.
But you know, since then she's been a major part of our support, and now we're here donated over 70 bikes, and
Yeah.
we're still donating
Throughout the county.
We're growing now.
Yeah.
We're collecting bikes from people,
Okay.
and it's incredible.
So if you have a bike that you can donate.
Yeah.
How do people get a hold of you?
So you go to bit.ly/bike4all.
Okay,
We don't
say
have
that,
our
say that again.
bit.ly/bike4all. I'll spell it
Okay.
out for you. bit.ly/bike4all. Not bikes for all, bike for all.
Okay, and the link will be on the Off the Radio Show Facebook page, and so we can make sure you can go there and get to the correct web page.
Yeah, I mean we don't
Instagram.
we don't have an Instagram yet.
Okay, all right.
Like I said, well, I like to think of our organization, like I said, for the community, by the community.
Right.
We have grown through word of mouth, and I find word of mouth incredibly valuable.
Of course.
I guess it's old school, you know, it's not like, you know, we're putting up advertisements and whatnot.
Yeah.
But we do a lot of traditional stuff. We put up signs around town, and I think that's
Bike shops.
not bike. We don't go to bike shops, but
Okay.
we do go to stores where there's a lot of heavy foot traffic.
Okay.
We just put up little flyers, you know, with a QR code. People
Yeah.
can just click on it if they're interested.
Okay.
We don't really have an Instagram page just yet.
Okay, I have to get one of those flyers to get the
Yeah.
get the QR code.
I think I might have one in my car.
Right.
We have we don't have our domain yet. That's something we're working on. But right now we're still focused on our mission, giving as much bikes away as possible. The domain, the nicer website, it's going to come all later. But right now we want to focus on the.
So you can take a used bike in any condition. You go ahead and fix it, right? So you personally go ahead. You go ahead and fix it, which costs money.
Yeah.
But by the time the bike is ready, it's ready to go.
Yeah. So this brings me to the organization itself. How does it work?
Yeah.
I love this. Every time I think about it, it gets me
This is the
excited.
stake right
it
there.
gets me all nerdy, and I'm like, this is what makes us different.
Right.
So there are really 3 major parts of the organization. The first part is the receiving bikes stage. It's no official name. I just call it a bunch of different things.
Yeah.
But it's a culmination of advertising and collecting bikes. And our biggest contributor of bikes is people. People, like, really, for any reason, you know, you could donate a bike to us. Like, if your kids have gone off to college and they got like 2 old bikes sitting in the garage that you're not going to use, we take it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that applies to everyone.
Right.
You know, someone has an old bike sitting in the garage that's rusting up. They don't want to take the time to take to the dump. They don't want to really fix it up and put it on like Facebook Marketplace.
Yeah.
So we step in, we take that bike.
Okay.
In addition to that, a lot of community organizations or like law enforcement, for one, the Capitola Police Department, the lovely folks over there.
Yeah.
We went over to them. We asked, hey, do you guys have any bikes? Do you want to like donate? And they're like, yeah, we get bikes every month. We do have to throw them away eventually. And I'm like, shoot, I'll take them. So we get bikes from them, and that's the first stage. The second stage it's a fun stage, but it's a hard one. It's a repair stage.
Yeah.
So we don't have infinite money
Right.
to constantly go onto Amazon.
Yeah.
And
Get bits and pieces.
yeah, getting new parts and
Yeah.
stuff like that. Stuff is expensive,
Right.
We don't have the funding,
No.
no one's gonna have the funding for that many bikes. So what we do is we use the bikes that we already have to repair, you know, bikes that are near ready to, get working.
Yeah.
So we'll get a
you
bike.
robbed Peter to pay Paul.
Yeah,
Anyway, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll get a bike that has a cracked frame. that's absolutely not going to go out to anyone. That's
Right.
incredibly
You
dangerous.
just-
And hey, I don't want to get sued.
Right. Right.
So what we do is we mark that bike as spare parts. We'll take parts from that bike, we'll put it on other bikes, and then we'll repair it. The great thing about this step in the organization is that it's where high school volunteers come in.
Yeah.
High school volunteers, they need a certain number of hours to
Yeah.
graduate
Right.
high school.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so we step in and we're like, you can learn, you can get your hours, and at the same time you learn how to fix a bike.
Did you get that from the county of Santa Cruz or from the school districts?
We did not. I got it from my very own school.
Okay.
Reached out to some students who
Yeah.
might have needed some hours, and I'm like, hey, I'm gonna repair this number of bikes this day in front of my house. That's where all the bikes happen. Or the bike repair.
Did you have bike mechanic experience when you started?
Yes.
Or you did?
Yes. So no, it's more like DIY. I learned it myself.
Yeah, YouTube.
YouTube, great resource.
Mm-hmm.
I've been biking ever since I was like 6.
Yeah.
To be honest, I didn't bike for a long time, and then once I got into like middle school, high school,
Yeah.
became a bike nerd. Now I bike like 100 miles in like a single ride,
Right.
all that stuff. So I'm knowledgeable, but I'm not perfect. I'm always learning,
Yeah.
and it's a great process. I love it.
It's a great project.
Yeah, and so these students, they learn how to fix bikes. These are essential skills that can transfer to them, later on.
Yeah.
And at the same time, they help the community and they get hours for themselves. It's an absolute win-win.
Yeah.
Like so far, both stages are win-wins. Now the final stage is our outreach stage, where we actually give bikes to people. People can go once again to bit.ly/bike4all to apply for a bike. You just go onto our apply page. You put in your name, your phone number, your email address, your bike size that you think. And the most important part is why you want a bike.
Yeah.
So we don't have a first come, first serve
Yeah.
or a need-based kind of decision making. It's sort of a combination of the both, of both of those. So someone might apply to our website and they say, hey, I need a bike. My car broke down. I can't afford to fix it, and I need to get to work across town.
Right.
They need a bike.
Right.
So they'll go up to the top of the list. We'll repair a bike and we'll get a bike to them.
So it doesn't have to be a kid getting a bike. It could be anybody.
It could be literally
anybody can be
anybody.
deserving of a bike.
Yes.
Okay.
Hi.
Going?
It's a lovely teacher at my school. So you could be, not only, you don't have to have some like dire situation to want to have bikes. Like once again, our mission is to provide a bike to everybody.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
some people do need it more than others.
Yeah.
You could also be just a kid, like a 15-year-old kid, and you want a bike, your family can't afford it.
Yeah.
You apply on our website, you're gonna get a
You
bike.
might get one. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
And I mean, that's the 3 stages. It's
Okay.
everything is like 0 emissions,
Yeah.
just like it's just perfect and it just works.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Good job.
Yes.
I'm very proud of you.
It's very fun. Yeah, I know I talked a lot, but
No, you talk
I,
great.
I absolutely love it.
I know
It's
you
just-
love it, and
gets me.
it's great. It's a win-win for everybody.
It is a
I
win-win.
can't think of anything that's no. That's
No.
a negative. It's all the whole thing's a complete win-win.
Exactly.
Which is all fit into place.
Exactly.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you so much.
I
for
really
the interview.
appreciate it. And
Yeah.
being a part of the Author Radio
Yeah.
Show, it's great.
Yeah, and I love what you're doing, spreading
Thank you.
the message.
Oh
Thank
yeah,
you so
spreading
much.
the message. Thank you so much.
Yes.
Thank you to the winery for the Sarah Winery for letting us sit at
Yeah.
the table. Thank you very much.
Yeah.